part two. I cut my part two. I accidentally cut it off. Part two. There's a straighter, longer cone. His face is even with it. I don't want to turn the barrel till his hip is at the barrel. Okay, so this is called in the hole between spot 1 and 2. I want the same room on the back side, spot 2, and then I'll use my inside hip, inside shoulder, look up, and he will come out tight. And I immediately move him over with my weight in my right stirrup and left leg, and that will also get me my lead change. So then I'll get back to 2 hands, and then some horses will rate later, some horses earlier, but naturally their first stride of rate will be here. Notice the straighter, longer cone on the fence. That's where I want to look. I don't want to look down their neck, because then they'll anticipate and cut off the entrance in the backside. So rate 1 here, rate 2 at spot 1. First stride around the barrel should be the same distance going in and on the backside, and then at spot 3 is your pivot spot a hair later. Your pivot spot on first and third happen between spot 2 and 3, but your pivot spot on second happens at spot 3, the exit, because it's a full turn. First barrel. Now this one you want to keep you always want to keep your line straight, so you may have to use outside legs so they don't drift out on you, leaving that barrel, and then decide if you need outside or inside as you approach this barrel, depending on where you're at. Again, another cone for straight or longer. That one's 10 feet past. And then third barrel is the one you may have to help them rate more if, depend on your horse, or you may have to look deeper if they are really ratey, because it's out in the open, so you might have to be sure you're communicating. First and second in my pen are on the fence, so this one you want to make sure you look straight or longer, but you may have to say when on turn. So rate 1 before the barrel, rate 2 at the barrel, same pocket going in on the back side. Use a little inside hand and leg for lateral bend here. And then as soon as I clear spot 2, inside shoulder, hip, outside leg, and my horse will snap up out as I look up. And again, pivot spots as soon as I clear spot 2, the back side. So spot 1's the entrance, spot 2 is the back side, spot 3 is the exit. Pivot spot for first and third happens between the back side and the exit. Pivot spot for second happens at spot 3. Notice I always go in wider, come out tighter, and that's basically it for the arc and the straighter longer, as well as spots 1, 2, and 3. The goal to be your personal best is to only have 2 strides rate and 2 strides around the barrel. So again, as you can see, looking at this, a short score would maybe be if it started right here, but a long score in my pen, it's back here to the first barrel if it's a long way or short way. So again, if it's a long ways to the first barrel, turn around here, you're going to go middle for 2 to 4 strides depending how far it is. But if it's a short score, meaning first barrel's right there, when you get in the mouth of the arena, you'd go right to your arc. But in this case, it's a long way, so I'm looking at third, making sure I'm lined up at third, and then I'm looking at my arc. I may have to use inside leg to keep my horse honest. So you'll see that a lot at the NFR. They'll come in and use a ton of inside leg, so the horse stays where they're supposed to until they get closer. And then you can see my tracks for first, my tracks for third, and my tracks for second. So I hope this was helpful. Thank you.